In this tutorial, we're going to look at the group by function in SQL queries. Recently, we just looked at the aggregate queries, particularly count and sum. And we see an aggregate query using count and sum here. And really these counts and sums, they're like putting in totals at the end of reports. In this example, looking at the staff table, we've got 6 different staff and their total salary is 130,000. But as useful as having totals at the bottom of a report, sometimes it's very useful to have subtotals as well. So let's look where the group by clause comes in an SQL statement. It comes after the where clause, but comes before a having or order by clause. So it's towards the end of the SQL after things have been filtered down. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Now, that's where the group by clause comes. In the staff table, there is a branch number field, and that's what I want to use as the breakdown field. I'll execute that, and we can see we've got a breakdown. It's splitting apart those count and sum aggregate functions into different constituent parts, and it's broken down by branch number. So in one of the branches, I've got 3 different staff, in another I've got 2, and the last one I've got 1, and we can see the corresponding salary sums in each of those branches. If we were to sum up those 2 columns, of course we get the overall totals. That would be what the aggregate queries will be giving us if we use them on their own. Now, without the actual branch number showing in the field list, it's difficult to see what branch these numbers relate to. So it's always a good idea, if I'm branching by a particular field, is to include that field name in the field list. Now I can see the actual branch numbers and the corresponding amount of staff and the salary sums in each of those branches. Now let's look at one other example. I'm going to select the property for rent table, and I want to get an overall view of how many rooms and what the total rent is in the different cities. So look at the rooms and the rent fields first of all. If I just select those different fields, I get this dataset. If I put in 2 sum aggregates on each of those fields, this is the results that I get, and now I want to group by city. And now I'm getting the required results. I see how many different rooms are in each of the different cities and also the total rents. So in summary, group by is like having subtotals in a report. Generally, most often you always use group by with aggregate functions. We often use one of the other fields in the table then to label each of the different groupings, like I did here with city in this example. And that's the group by clause in SQL. This video is part of a series of videos of SQL tutorials, and you'll see a link to the playlist of those tutorials up on the top right of your screen right now. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel to allow more people to find this content.